Hey everyone, okay, hopefully this will be a quick end of the month update. I've got a few things to discuss. Please ignore the noise in the background. There is road work happening and I can't do anything about it. So, under here is the Kuma Falcon. It is done. I have a family member potentially interested in buying it. So hopefully it might be gone. I'll give him a couple weeks to get here. If he doesn't show up, it's probably going to go on Marketplace and Kijiji. The Yard Pro and Green Craftsman, these two will be together. I plan on, hopefully weather permitting, getting the Yard Pro out of this spot right here. It's been sitting here way too long. It does run. I actually had it running the other day. It actually fired right up after sitting for quite some time. The battery's still hot in it, which is good. And it ran without any issues off the fuel in the tank, even without choke. So this is the transaxle that's going in it. I'm actually going to get it set in place shortly when this video is done. Get the belt line back up again. Got to fill it with oil. This transaxle was a bit low. It doesn't appear to leak, but it was definitely a bit low on oil. They do seep every once in a while. It's not like a full-blown leak. It's just a seep. The Green Craftsman here, it's got the rear end in it. It's got back tires on it. As you can see, it needs a belt and it needs a drive pulley done up front. So the plan is to hopefully get this sorted out and get it back on its wheels and get the drive and stuff sorted out. I do believe the engine pulley is currently seized onto it, so that might be fun to deal with, trying to get that off. I'm hoping someone didn't tack weld it. There was no bolt, there was no electric PTO clutch on this machine whenever I bought it. It's just the pulley, and that was pretty much it. But the 6-speed is all hooked up. It's just about ready to go. Just a few minor things need to be done on this to make this thing go. I also had this running the other day. It did start up reasonably easy. It does not like running off of choke until it's completely warmed up. That's just the nature of these engines. Alligator clip on the ground. This is a Kohler 18.5. So yeah, these aren't the greatest engines, but they'll get the job done. So that's it for over here. Engine test stand is still sitting there. I gotta get that put away. There's an engine sitting on it. Gotta deal with that at some point before the weather does change. Okay, I don't really want to discuss anything on the left for a few different reasons, but I'm getting pretty low on machines at the moment. I've sold quite a few in the last few weeks. Sold the Alice Chalmers, I sold the Poulan Pro, I sold the Free Craftsman was last month, so, or was it June? I can't quite remember now. But let's talk about what's in front of us right here. Racing lawnmower. Second little quad I got from auction whenever I bought the Kuma and a few other things. And the Scots. I have pulled the battery out of the Scots. It did have a good battery in it, but it's got no engine, so there's no need for the Scots to have a battery. I would like to put an engine in this, but this machine's kind of at the point, is it worth fixing? Is it not worth fixing? How's the transaxle? Ironically, I did have a good transaxle for this, but I don't keep stuff around for overly long, and it did end up going for scrap. So this one here, also being a hydrostatic, I don't quite know yet what I'm going to be doing with this machine. I have a Subaru engine I was planning on putting in this. It might still happen, but we'll see. Probably won't be until next year. The little quad, it's basically just been sitting here covered up. I don't know if it's a bad starter or if the engine itself is seized up on this. The tires also need work on this. If I can get this running reasonably easy, it's an easy few $100 to sell it. It's not bad, but it's not good. Yeah, it's probably 90, 125cc. I didn't pay much of anything for it from auction. It's not the greatest, but it'd be a good beginner bike for a small kid. So don't really know quite yet what's going to be happening with it. If anything, all 4 tires are good to be reused on other quads. Fuel tank is good. A few other things are good on this as well. It's not the nicest to begin with. Racing mower. I know I did promise to try and get on this year. I don't know yet. I wouldn't mind uncovering it and trying to start it. That wouldn't be a bad idea. See if it will crank up or not. That'd be kind of fun to do. I just need a battery. And actually technically, if you use batteries, you need 2 batteries. But if you use a jumper pack, you need a jumper pack and a set of booster cables. Because you got to apply power to the carburetor solenoid. Once you put the battery in place at the front, you could probably get everything hooked up properly. But I wouldn't mind trying to start this. It's definitely been a very long time since this has ran. So it'd be interesting to see if it would start up. It should technically drive, but it's been a while. It's been over a year since it has driven, so it's hard to say the brakes shouldn't be seized up on it. It's got disc brakes, hydraulic disc brakes, so yeah. All 4 tires should be up on it, but like I said, it hasn't really been uncovered. Last time it was uncovered, the wind caught the tarp, blew the tarp off, and I pretty much just covered it right back up again. It has a bucket on the engine to keep the engine protected. On this, I have discussed it before. The transaxle has to come back out and get finished up. It needs the bearings put in place. I do have the parts to do it. But the transaxle is oil filled at the moment. So I'm going to have to drain the transaxle and take it apart, put the bearings in it, put it back together, refill it. So it's a bit of a job to do. It's going to take a couple hours to get it done. And it's a messy job, so it's something I'm not really looking forward to doing. It's basically something I should have done when I had it apart in the first place, when I built this transaxle. But I didn't have the bearings on hand, and I didn't want to leave the transaxle taken apart. So this here, we might do a startup on this in the not so distant future. Maybe in the next couple weeks. Okay, the cheap Mastercraft I picked up from a neighbor. It actually does still run. I had it running the other day. It might actually start up for us in this video. Choke. Nope, it doesn't want to start for some reason. I may have turned the fuel off on this. I don't quite remember, but the plan for this is to just clean it up and resell it probably in the spring. Actually, it's a white, but pretty much the same as Mastercraft or whatever. Clean it up a bit. There's an issue with the governor. Take care of that. Get that all sorted out. I'll probably put blades on the deck and get rid of it. I'm not into this machine for very much. As you can see, it does have a good battery in it. But yeah, just get this cleaned up. Probably paint it flat black, or yeah, probably flat black would be the best, and sell it for cheap, like $400 or $500 machine. As long as everything works, doesn't have any issues, this is an easy $400 or $500. As long as I can put a maximum of $100 into it, which in this market, that's going to be kind of tough. We'll have to wait and see on this. So, as for storage for the winter, I might put this at Super Secret Storage location. I haven't yet decided. I don't know what's actually going there yet. A few things will be going there. Just haven't fully decided. Last 2 machines. The Roper, still getting some parts together for this. I still don't know if that engine runs. The transaxle is also kind of stuck. The steering's stuck on this. But I am trying my best not to just throw this in the trailer and scrap it. I do kind of want to save this machine. A part of me does want to save it. A part of me wants to get rid of it. So the part of me that wants to save it is actually more wanting to save it. So that's the plan for at the moment. All 4 tires do hold air. The deck is here. The engine does turn by hand, but I have not yet been able to start it up and get it running. It needs a starter. Probably will need a coil, but it does have one good thing going for it. All 4 tires are up. Last, the other Yard Pro. This actually will run and drive. It's got a dead battery at the moment, but this would start up and run. It's got a 16 horse Briggs Vanguard. This is actually a replacement engine for the racing lawnmower. The racing lawnmower has a 12.5 horsepower Briggs V-twin Vanguard. This is the 16 horse Briggs Vanguard V-twin. So this engine would straight bolt into the racing mower without any issues. All of the modifications I've done to that engine would hook up to this engine without any issues. The racing mower also has a new carburetor, so that new carburetor would go onto there, or this carburetor could go onto there. It doesn't really matter. The racing mower carburetor actually has a broken off stud in the carburetor. When I was modifying the air filter, it kind of got screwed up. But this is a 6-speed manual machine at the moment. Like I said, dead battery, else I would start it. But it does run drive. Tires are low, but they're on the beads. So just a little bit of air in the tires. This thing would actually, a little bit of air in the tires, a jump to the battery. It would fire up and pull out of its spot. So the fuel, probably not the greatest at the moment, but it would start and run and drive. So that's pretty much everything I really got to do a video on. One more item, which I'll show in a second, but it's another item I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. It was kind of an impulse buy, or later on down the road project to actually eventually work on. So these 3 machines are more parts machines, future project, and later on down the road stuff. This one was in super secret storage all last winter. I don't know yet if it's going to go back there or not. Last year I had all really nice machines in there. This year might be some of the crappier machines. That there has never been over there since, again, it doesn't run or drive. That one there, I probably wouldn't be able to get it through the door. I possibly could, but it'd be tight. I'll have to wait and see on that. Yeah, so let me get to my last item and we'll discuss it. Actually, the last 2 items, 2 pressure washers. One's a Honda 13 horse. This was actually sold as an air compressor, but no, it's a pressure washer. It just has the industrial hookups on the back that uses a quick disconnect. So the engine will run, but it needs work. That tank there needs to be replaced. It needs a lid. I contacted the manufacturer. Unfortunately, they don't sell lids separately, so you'd have to buy a complete replacement box to make it proper, which isn't a big deal. It's only about $37. So that's definitely something I'll be looking into doing in the future. I saved the link where I found the manufacturer and to actually get that. But I want to make sure it does have pressure before I start spending any money on this machine. Like I said, it's a commercial pressure washer. I have no idea how much PSI it is. It's probably quite a bit. It's actually a belt-driven pressure washer, which is kind of different from everything else. What I paid for it is what that engine is worth if I was to take it off and resell it, being a genuine Honda. Last but certainly not least, this is the last pressure washer I have to actually work on. It's a Homelite. That is the correct details for the pump. The pump was on this frame with a seized engine. That engine there has governor issues, unfortunately. I do have a parts engine, but I'd have to strip this engine back down to get inside of it and hopefully try and fix it. The plan is this one will be kept. The one I'm currently using will be sold with that cart right there will be mounted onto it. So, and nothing else has really changed in here. I did a bunch of engines. A few good ones, few not so good ones. That's the Polestar 12 horse right there. It's a really good engine. That's the Subaru V-Twin down there. A couple Kohlers. Kohler right there. There's a Kohler down there. That's a Kawasaki. Needs a carburetor. I think it may have a stuck valve. That's a really nice Briggs opposed twin horizontal. Really nice engine, runs really good. I have a pressure or air compressor frame in here for an industrial air compressor. I was planning on possibly putting that engine on there. That might still happen down the road. I'd have to figure out a fuel source and a few other things, but that would make a great engine for that frame. But I don't know what it'd be necessarily worth on the top end to sell it. So I have to just wait and see what's actually going to work out and what's actually going to happen with a few things. So that's pretty much it for in here and pretty much it for the video. So talk to them later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.